इतनी महंगी टिकट?
महंगी नहीं, सबसे सस्ती। मान ट्रैवल. You can always get cheapest international flight tickets with Man Travel.
Hello, Man Travel?
Man Travel. Redefine your travel experience.
Sometimes it's the little things that remind us of them. Stay close, even when you're far apart. Send money worldwide with Remitly.
Is NDTV, and you're watching NDTV 24/7.
Hello and welcome to this Wednesday edition of the World Report. I'm Arjun, Samar, Mahendran. Let's take a look at what's making headlines around the world. Deposed Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has launched scathing accusations against interim leader Mohammad Yunus, blaming him for unleashing terrorists and creating lawlessness across the country. Hasina's 16-year rule was toppled after a massive student uprising in August last year, forcing her to flee to neighbor India. In a virtual interaction with families of police officers killed during the violent protests, Hasina in fact vowed to return and avenge their deaths. She also accused Yunus of dissolving inquiry committees and questioned his ability to run the interim government. In response, Dhaka reaffirmed its commitment to bringing Hasina back from India and stressed securing Hasina's extradition remains, in fact, its top priority. Meanwhile, a UN report says nearly 1,400 people died during the unrest that led to Hasina's ouster in August last year. A student's death at a top university in Odisha has triggered tensions between India and Nepal, along with campus protests and arrests. Prakriti Lamsal, a 20-year-old Nepali student at the KIIT Bhubaneswar, was found dead in a hostel room over the weekend. Initially, it was ruled to be a suicide. However, allegations of abuse by a fellow student, supported by a disturbing viral audio clip, led to the arrest of 5 individuals. But all arrested individuals, this includes 3 directors and 2 guards, in fact, have now been granted bail. Protests by Nepali students were met with force, sparking outrage after university officials made derogatory remarks about the country. Nepal's government has warned of halting students' admissions to Odisha universities if the issue is not resolved justly. Meanwhile, Odisha's government has launched a probe, while KIIT has apologized, urging Nepali students to return back to campus. Reports suggest that renowned EV manufacturer Tesla is advancing its entry into the Indian market by securing showroom spaces in Mumbai and New Delhi. The development follows a recent meeting between Tesla CEO Elon Musk and PM Narendra Modi, where discussions encompass space exploration, mobility, and technology. In fact, Tesla has chosen a site already in New Delhi's posh Aero City area, strategically located near the international airport. On the other hand, the company has earmarked a space in the Bandra Kurla complex. It's a prominent business district in the financial capital, Mumbai. US President Donald Trump has defended the Department of Government Efficiency's decision, in fact, to cancel a $21 million fund designated for quote-unquote voter turnout in India, saying that India, with its growing economy and high taxation rates, does not need such financial support. Here's what the US President had to say.
And $21 million for voter turnout in India. Well, why are we giving $21 million to India? They got a lot of money. They're one of the highest taxing countries in the world in terms of us. We can hardly get in there because their tariffs are so high. I have a lot of respect for India. I have a lot of respect for the Prime Minister. He just left, as you know, 2 days ago. But we're giving $21 million for voter turnout. It's voter turnout in India. What about, like, voter turnout here? Oh, we've done that, I guess. We did $500 million, didn't we? It's called the lockboxes. $20 million for fiscal federalism in Nepal. Listen to these numbers. This is all fraud.
Meanwhile, European and other world leaders, in fact, plan to hold a second emergency summit in Paris on Wednesday. This as pressure grows to forge a cohesive response to US President Donald Trump's divisive plan to end the war in Ukraine. France planned to host a second meeting to discuss Ukraine and European security on Wednesday, but has this time, in fact, invited European countries not present earlier this week, and even NATO ally Canada, as per reports. As per reports, again, those invited include Norway, Canada, Lithuania, Estonia, Latvia, and the Czech Republic, Greece, Finland, Romania, Sweden, and Belgium. Further adding that the format would be hybrid, including video participation this time over. Prakash Patel, a longtime ally of US President Donald Trump, is in fact one step closer to becoming the next FBI director. The Senate voted 48-45 to advance Patel's nomination, with a final confirmation vote expected in the coming days. If confirmed, Patel will lead the agency for a 10-year term. Known for his loyalty to Trump, Patel has in fact pledged to pursue Trump's adversaries and plans to shut down the FBI's Washington headquarters on his first day at the job, turning it into what he calls a deep state museum. The U.S. Senate has confirmed wealthy financier Howard Lutnick as the new Commerce Secretary. Lutnick will now oversee the Commerce Department's 50,000 employees, handling everything from economic data collection to census operations. A key challenge ahead is managing the president's aggressive tariff policies aimed at pressuring U.S. trading partners. At his confirmation hearing, Lutnick dismissed concerns that tariffs drive inflation and backed across-the-board tariffs to force other nations, in fact, to lower trade barriers. Lutnick's approach is expected to significantly shape U.S. trade relations moving forward. Meanwhile, U.S. President Donald Trump is considering imposing 25% tariffs on key imports like automobiles, semiconductors, and even pharmaceuticals. The new duties could be announced as early as the 2nd of April. This is as per a Western media report, and are expected to, in fact, widen the ongoing trade war affecting consumer products. Trump previously, for perspective, also introduced 25% tariffs on steel and aluminium, which are set to, in fact, take place in March. His latest proposal marks the most detailed outline yet of sectors facing fresh trade barriers. This also reflects on a significant shift in U.S. trade policy that could very well impact global markets. The United States has condemned what it calls dangerous maneuvers by a Chinese Navy helicopter in the South China Sea. The incident involved a Chinese aircraft flying dangerously close, in fact, to a Philippine government plane conducting surveillance over the disputed Scarborough Shoal, putting the safety of pilots and passengers at risk. The Philippines labeled the actions reckless and, in fact, plans a diplomatic protest. Meanwhile, Beijing denied the accusations, claiming the Philippine aircraft had illegally intruded into China's airspace and accused Manila, in fact, of spreading false narratives. The U.S., in the meantime, has urged China to avoid coercion and resolve disputes peacefully under international law. Panama is holding 299 migrants deported from the United States under President Donald Trump's immigration policies. The migrants from 10 mostly Asian countries, including India, Pakistan, China, and Afghanistan, are confined in a hotel under police watch awaiting repatriation. Over 40% of them have refused to return voluntarily, prompting the UN and International Organization for Migration to seek third country solutions. The U.S. is covering all costs under a migration agreement announced after Secretary of State Marco Rubio's visit. Panama's government insists the migrants aren't detained despite restrictions on their movement.
Se acordó el recibir 299 personas que venían de Estados Unidos para que fueran repatriados a sus respectivos países de orígenes y que esto se iba a hacer a través de la Organización Internacional de las Migraciones y el ACNUR, ambas oficinas de Naciones Unidas. Como manera de prevención, estas personas no pueden circular por nuestro país precisamente para garantizar la seguridad y la paz de los ciudadanos panameños. Nosotros les brindamos a ellos todas las atenciones necesarias, médicas, alimenticias, ¿verdad? Y de comodidad, y lo seguiremos haciendo hasta que el último de ellos salga de nuestro país, que es lo que se pactó con el gobierno de los Estados Unidos.
The Pope Francis has been diagnosed with double pneumonia after further tests showed a continuing complex medical situation, the Vatican said in a statement on Tuesday. The 88-year-old pontiff underwent a chest X-ray which demonstrated the onset of bilateral pneumonia that required further pharmacological therapy. Pope Francis had been hospitalized, in fact, in Rome since the 14th of February after battling a respiratory infection for more than 1 week. Over in West Asia, Hamas says it will hand over the bodies of 4 hostages on Thursday, including the 2 youngest people held by the Palestinian militant group. In exchange, Israel will free all women and those under the ages of 19 arrested since last October, in fact, and is even allowing some rubble clearing equipment into Gaza through the border with Egypt. Brazil's prosecutor general has filed charges against former President Jair Bolsonaro for allegedly plotting a coup to stay in power after losing the 2022 election to President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva. Prosecutors say Bolsonaro and 33 others, in fact, tried to undermine trust in the electoral system, drafted a decree to legitimize the plan, pressured military leaders, and eventually incited riots inside the capital. The federal police's 884-page report outlines charges of attempting a coup, violently removing the rule of law, and even forming a criminal organization. Bolsonaro now faces serious legal consequences if convicted. And it's time we slip into a short break. See you on the other side.
No child should suffer the torture of trachoma, but so many are in pain right now. Nananga's lashes have turned inwards. They rip and tear away at his eyes. Pomelo's sight could be gone forever. He's just 3 years old. Kofanga screams for his mother. His eyes are so infected that he can't even see her. For so many children in the world's poorest countries, trachoma is torture. It's a painful infection often spread by flies, and it's destroying children's eyesight. But it could be stopped if you help today. By calling 0800 038 4926 and giving £1 a week to Sightsavers, you can help make sure children get the treatment they desperately need. You'll help us bring them the medicines and the care that can treat infections. And that means you'll be helping to save children from the torture of trachoma and a life of blindness. Please help us reach them. Call 0800 038 4926. Text C13 to 82727 or go online and give just £1 a week now. Because we need you to help save the sight of children like Nananga. We need you to help save them from the torture of trachoma.
I'm a simple man, but now I'm in my 50s, things are getting a little more complicated. Retirement's peeking around the corner, and I wanted to make sure my family would be really looked after if anything happened to me. That's why I decided to learn more about over 50s life insurance from Cover Today.
They're the only over 50s life insurer with no waiting period.
Unlike other insurers who could make you wait up to 2 years, with Cover Today, you're fully covered from day one. And you're covered for the whole of your life.
Plus, unlike other things in life, the price never goes up. Learning more couldn't be simpler. Go online or talk to their friendly UK team in just one phone call.
Cover Today are the only over 50s life insurer with no waiting period and no annoying trips to the doctors either.
Now I'm with Cover Today, I can get on with something much more interesting.
Plus, you get your choice of a £125 gift card. To find out more about Cover Today, call our friendly UK team on 0808 143 4774 or visit covertoday.co.uk.
We know travel can be confusing, so let us inspire you. Welcome to Qatar. Experience it all. World-class hospitality, diverse landscapes from city to sea, and fly there with the Airline of the Year 2022, Qatar Airways. Book now at travelup.com or call 0207 580 5000. Travel Up, flights, hotels, holidays.
Welcome back. You're watching the World Report on NDTV with me, Arjun, Samar, Mahendran. Fast food giant KFC is moving its U.S. corporate headquarters from Louisville, Kentucky to Plano in Texas. Parent company Yum Brands says the move is part of a strategy to create two main hubs, in fact, Plano for KFC and Pizza Hut, while Taco Bell and Habit Burger and Grill will remain in Irvine, California. About 100 corporate employees and dozens of remote workers will have to relocate with support provided by the company. The decision comes as more companies are drawn to Texas for its lower taxes and business-friendly environment. However, Kentucky's Governor Andy Beshear has criticized the move. Yum Brands will continue to maintain its corporate offices and the KFC Foundation, in fact, in Louisville. Johnson & Johnson is facing a crucial court battle over its $10 billion plan to settle tens of thousands of lawsuits claiming its baby powder caused ovarian cancer. A U.S. bankruptcy judge, in fact, in Houston, will decide whether to approve J&J's third attempt at resolving these claims through its subsidiary's bankruptcy. Previous efforts have failed, but J&J says its latest plan has broader support, with both showing backing from over 62,000 plaintiffs. The lawsuits allege asbestos contamination is in J&J's talc products, a claim the company vehemently denies. The judge's ruling could either approve the deal or end the bankruptcy process altogether. Meanwhile, Chevron plans to cut up 20% of its global workforce, affecting roughly 40,000 employees. That's right, 20% workforce affecting roughly 40,000 employees. The announcement came during an internal town hall shortly after celebrating its success as Colorado's top oil and gas producers. Executives cited rising cost, complicated business processes, and in fact, slowed decision-making as reasons for the layoffs. While some employees said the cuts were expected, Chevron's leadership, on the other hand, emphasized the need for streamlining operations to keep pace with competitors. The layoffs, for perspectives, are part of a broader restructuring strategy in the company aimed at boosting its financial performance altogether. Japan's chip materials maker Remark Holdings is gearing up for acquisitions after successfully reducing its debt. CEO Hidehito Takahashi told Reuters that the company plans to take an aggressive approach this year. A key focus for Remark is participating when a state-backed fund exits from industry peer JSR, which was taken private last year as a part of a push for consolidation in the sector. Takahashi emphasized that since it's a fund, an eventual exit is expected, and Remark, in fact, aims to play a role in that transition, signaling potential shakeups in Japan's chip materials industry. Asian stocks wavered after the S&P 500 in European markets hit record highs. This as US President Donald Trump renewed tariff threats. Now, Trump announced plans for 25% or higher tariffs, in fact, on pharmaceuticals, semiconductor chips, and auto imports, potentially starting as soon as the 2nd of April this year. Now, these moves follow existing tariffs, including a 10% levy on all imports from China. Despite the threats, market reactions were muted, with investors viewing them as a negotiation tactic. Meanwhile, the US dollar strengthened as geopolitical concerns, especially over the US-Russia talks in Ukraine, prompted safe haven buying. Elon Musk's AI startup XAI has introduced its latest artificial intelligence model, Grok 3, claiming it outperforms rivals like OpenAI and China's DeepSeek. Early tests reveal Grok 3 excelling in math, science, and even coding. Musk described the model as a quote-unquote scary smart model at Dubai's World Government Summit. Highlighting its powerful reasoning abilities, starting Tuesday, Grok 3 will be available to premium subscribers on Musk's social media platform X, with a separate subscription for web and app versions. Additionally, XAI has announced a new product, Deep Search, positioned as a next-generation search engine. Former OpenAI Chief Technology Officer Meera Murati has launched a new AI startup, Thinking Machines Lab, bringing about 30 top researchers and engineers from OpenAI, Meta, and Mistral. Notably, two-thirds of her team are former OpenAI employees, including Barrett Zoff, who left OpenAI the same day, in fact, as Murati, and will now serve as the startup's technology chief. OpenAI co-founder John Schulman also joins as chief scientist, having left the company for Anthropic last year to focus on AI alignment. Thinking Machines Lab aims to develop AI systems that encode human values and offer broader applications, in fact, than existing competitors. Saronic Technologies has secured $600 million in a Series C funding round, pushing its valuation to $4 billion now. The fundraising was led by prominent investor Elad Gil. The autonomous shipbuilding firm plans to use the funds to construct a new shipyard, Port Alpha, which will help extend its fleet of autonomous surface vehicles into medium and large class ships designed for U.S. defense purposes. Now, additionally, Saronic aims to also develop hybrid fleets for the U.S. Navy by combining unmanned systems with manned platforms, further strengthening its role in advanced naval technology. Private equity firm Silver Lake is reportedly in exclusive talks to acquire a majority stake in Intel's programmable chip unit, Altera. Sources familiar with the matter say the deal could value Altera at around $9 billion. Intel had originally purchased the company in 2015 for nearly $17 billion. Now, the sale would provide Intel with a much-needed cash injection as the chipmaker works to cut costs. While Silver Lake declined to comment, Intel has yet to respond. Other firms like Bain Capital and Francisco Partners had also, in fact, shown interest in the stakes. Moving on to sports now, the Champions Trophy 2025 season will kick off with Pakistan facing New Zealand in Karachi on Wednesday afternoon. Meanwhile, Team India preps are in full swing to face Bangladesh. Canada's head coach John Cooper is full of praise for the Four Nations Face-Off tournament, calling it the most significant event for ice hockey in a decade. The competition, featuring the United States, Canada, Sweden and Finland, has, according to Cooper, reinvigorated fans and players alike. But he pointed out a downside as well. Some of the world's top talents like Leon Draisaitl and Nikita Kucherov are missing from the lineup. Cooper's Canada team will face United States in Boston in what promises to be a thrilling final on Thursday. Listen in.
Well, the one thing about this tournament, and I think nothing's done more for hockey in a decade than what this tournament's done. The problem with the tournament, though, is where's, Leon Draisaitl, and let's just go down the list of guys that, Nikita Kucherov, and go down the list of guys that aren't here that you do get to see in an all-star game or sometime event, because those guys are special talents. And yes, are some of the greatest players in the world here, they are, but you do miss out on everyone. And so, maybe there's something down the road where everybody gets to play, and, then that would be super cool.
World number 2 Alexander Zverev had a tough start at the Rio Open, narrowly defeating China's Bu Yungchoktae to advance to the second round. Zverev started strong with a 4-1 lead in the first set, but struggled as Bu fought back, holding a set point at 5-4. However, the German star regained control to win the opener and eventually closed out the match. Zverev will now face Kazakhstan's Alexander Shevchenko in the next round. And women's tennis returns to London's iconic Queen's Club for the first time since 1973, more than 50 years in fact, and it's bringing some big names along. Australian Open champion Madison Keys and four-time Grand Slam winner Naomi Osaka will headline the WTA 500 event in June. They'll be joined by British #1 Katie Boulter, former US champion Emma Raducanu, and Eastern-born defending champion Daria Kastkina. The tournament director Laura Robson says the event will showcase some of the best female players globally. The tournament kicks off the grassroots court season a week before the men's event, serving as the perfect, in fact, lead up to Wimbledon. Rapper A$AP Rocky was found not guilty on 2 felony counts of assault with a semi-automatic firearm. The LA courtroom erupted with joy as Rocky, whose real name is Rakeem Mayers, embraced partner Rihanna after the verdict. The jury took out 3 hours to reach a decision following a 3-week trial. In fact, facing the possibility of over 20 years in prison, Rocky expressed gratitude to God and to the jury, calling his past 4 years a crazy experience. He said he felt blessed to be a free man and thanked fans also for their support.
I want to thank God first. You got to thank God first, you know what I'm saying? And I really want to thank the jury for making the right decision, you know? And I'm just so thankful. This is crazy right now. That this whole experience has been crazy for the past 4 years, but I'm thankful. Nonetheless, I'm thankful, and we're blessed to be here right now, to be a free man talking to y'all. Thank you. All praise due to God.
Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, has rebranded her fledgling company to As Ever. In a video posted to her new Instagram account, she said the name American Riviera, a moniker for her home turf near Santa Barbara, California, felt limiting in its support of locally grown and made products. She said she wants to include a wider range of goods under her new umbrella. The news comes 2 weeks before the debut of With Love Meghan, a lifestyle show on Netflix. The Duchess, in fact, said Netflix has come on board as a business partner as well. She called that development huge. She said she chose the name As Ever in 2022. During her Suits years, she had a popular lifestyle blog, The Tig. Meghan left Instagram when she got engaged to Prince Harry, as has spoken out about the dangers of social media. Queen Camilla, patron of the UK's National Theatre, hosted a reception to celebrate the work of its staff and actors on Tuesday. Now, the Queen welcomed guests at the Buckingham Palace, including entertainers Kate Blanchett, Leslie Manville, Dame Imelda Staunton, Jim Carter, James Corden, and of course, Andrew Garfield. Camilla was thanked for allowing the National Theatre to invade Buckingham Palace for the reception, which included singing, speeches, poetry, and even performances. Sir Simon Russell Beale performed a monologue, and the Queen was later surprised with a scene from one of her favourite plays, The Importance of Being Earnest. The Queen became patron of the National Theatre in 2022. The role was previously held by the Duchess of Sussex from 2019 to 2021, and prior to that by Queen Elizabeth II.
What are you so happy about?
I've just made a claim. We could be owed thousands.
My claim group?
Yeah, the cars we bought on finance, well, the lenders could have charged hidden commissions. It's dead simple to claim.
Hey, I had 2 cars before we met.
Go to My Claim Group. You could be owed thousands in hidden commissions from cars you bought on finance since 2007, even if you can't remember the details.
Done.
Simple, eh?
Go to My Claim Group now.
Claims made simple.
I'm a simple man. Family, friends, and a bit of footy. The usual, Jules, thanks. Now I'm in my 50s, things are getting a little more complicated. Look, no one's getting any younger. Retirement's peeking around the corner, and with the mortgage nearly done, I wanted to make sure my family was really looked after, if anything happened to me. That's why I decided to learn more about over 50s life insurance from Cover Today. They're the only over 50s life insurer with no waiting period. Unlike other insurers who could make you wait up to 2 years, with Cover Today, you're fully covered from day one. And you're covered for the whole of your life. Plus, unlike other things in life, the price never goes up. Learning more couldn't be simpler.
Go online or talk to their friendly UK team and they'll chat you through your options in just one phone call.
And their claims process is really straightforward, so your loved ones will be looked after.
Cover Today are the only over 50s life insurer with no waiting period. Everyone else makes you wait up to 2 years. Get covered in minutes with no annoying trips to the doctor with fixed monthly payments. Prices start at just £4.42 a month. Plus, you get your choice of a £125 gift card.
Cover Today has given me genuine peace of mind. And now I can get on with something much more interesting.
To find out more about Cover Today, call our friendly UK team on 0800 470 4493 or visit covertoday.co.uk.
Sometimes it's the little things that remind us of them. Stay close, even when you're far apart. Send money worldwide with Remitly.
In today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks, the world listens. At NDTV World, we are that voice, bringing you intelligent and insightful news from India and beyond. From geopolitics and diplomacy to economic shifts, migrations, tech disruptions, and the stories of our diaspora. We cover the news that shapes our global future. NDTV World, your new home for global news, is here.
From interesting tech startups to industry-leading companies, politics, sports, culture, curry, cricket. Oh, there's so much to talk about. Like me, if you too thrive on interesting conversations, this is a show you cannot miss. Watch this space to know more about all matters and all people that make Britain what it is today. Out of Britain, with me, Radhika Iyer.
जहां पे कुंभ के आयोजन के दौरान कोई भी ऐसी दुर्घटना को रोकने के लिए कार्य हो सके, सिंगल यूज प्लास्टिक को वहां पे रोकने का पूरा प्रयास किया गया है और अन्य तमाम प्रकार के आयोजन के साथ ही कुंभ आयोजन में पहली बार आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस का चैटबॉट का भी प्रयोग किया गया है, जिसके माध्यम से कुंभ सहायक चैटबॉट 11 भाषाओं में संवाद की एक सुविधा भी उपलब्ध करवाई गई, जिसका आप इस सदन में विरोध कर रहे हैं। कुंभ में कितना लोकप्रिय है उसके बारे में अभी मैं इसके बारे में बताऊंगा। और गूगल के साथ MOU हुआ है, जिसमें सेक्टर के रास्ते हों या सांस्कृतिक कार्यक्रमों का पता लगाने, इन सब की सुविधा भी वहां पर की गई है। इसके साथ ही QR कोड जारी किए गए हैं। किसी को कोई परेशानी होती है तो उसके माध्यम से वह अपने गंतव्य तक पहुंचने में सफल हो सके, इसके लिए ये व्यवस्था भी दी गई है। और डिजिटल एक्सपीरियंस सेंटर भी बनाया गया। महाकुंभ से जुड़े हुए एक डिजिटल कुंभ एक्सपीरियंस सेंटर को भी वहां तैयार किया गया है। अस्पतालों में 6000 बेड्स की व्यवस्था की गई है। 360 बेड का मेला कुंभ स्थल पर और 25-25 बेड के 2 नए अस्पताल भी अरेल और जोशी में, 20-20 बेड के 2 अस्पताल और 10-10 बेड के अतिरिक्त अस्पतालों की स्थापना भी वहां पर की गई है। 3000 विशेष ट्रेन भारतीय रेल ने चलाए हैं, जिसके माध्यम से 13000 से अधिक उनके फेरे प्रयागराज कुंभ की दृष्टि से वहां पर किए गए हैं। और उनके साथ साथ 10 स्थानों पर होर्डिंग एरिया भी उन सभी क्षेत्रों में बनाने के कार्य वहां पर किए गए हैं। ये सभी आयोजन वहां पर किए गए हैं। महोदय, इसके साथ ही अगर हम देखेंगे कि 2013 में जो प्रयागराज कुंभ में आने वाले श्रद्धालुओं की संख्या थी वो मात्र 12 करोड़ थी और 55 दिन के आयोजन में 12 करोड़। और उस समय की स्थिति के बारे में अगर मैं चर्चा करूं, यद्यपि ये चीजें कितना आवश्यक है मैं ये नहीं कह सकता, लेकिन फिर भी मैं आपसे कहना चाहूंगा कि ...2013 का आयोजन, उस समय की स्थिति क्या थी? उस आयोजन को उस दौरान एक हादसों के रूप में, अव्यवस्था के रूप में, भ्रष्टाचार के रूप में देखा गया। और जो हावड़ की बात कर रहे हैं, प्रभारी मंत्री के साथ हावड़ में क्या हुआ था, यह भी किसी से छुपा हुआ नहीं है। उनको एयरपोर्ट से ही वापस आना पड़ा। उस समय जो बयान आए थे समाजवादी पार्टी के, उस समय उनके बयान आए थे, जो तत्कालीन सीएम ने बयान दिए थे। इन्होंने एक तो उस समय की तत्कालीन सरकार के रेल मंत्री पर आरोप प्रत्यारोप लगाने प्रारंभ किए। फिर ये भी कहा था, हम सभी जानते हैं कि घटना किसकी चूक से हुई। उस समय एक बड़ी आग, अग्निकांड की घटना भी घटित थी, वो अभी किसी से छुपी हुई नहीं। महोदय, केक ने भी अपनी रिपोर्ट दी थी 2013 को। उन्होंने कहा था, केक ने, कि श्रद्धालु कुंभ मेले में आस्था की डुबकी लगा रहे थे, तब कुंभ मेला प्रशासन भ्रष्टाचार में डूबा हुआ था। 2014 में जो केक की रिपोर्ट आई थी 2013 के कुंभ की, मैं उसकी चर्चा कर रहा हूं। रिपोर्ट में बताया गया कि तत्कालीन उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार ने केंद्र सरकार की ओर से दिए गए फंड से ही पूरा मेला संपन्न कर दिया, जबकि अखिलेश सरकार को आयोजन पर 70% धनराशि खर्च करनी थी। अपने स्तर पर भी उनको खर्च करनी थी, अपना पैसा नहीं खर्च किया। 13 के कुंभ में इन्हें 1141 करोड़ 63 लाख रुपए केंद्र सरकार के खर्च हुए, और वहीं मात्र 10 करोड़ 57 लाख रुपए राज्य सरकार ने खर्च किए। यानी पैसा ही नहीं दिया, आयोजन के लिए पैसा ही नहीं दिया। मेला शुरू होने तक 59% कार्य और 19% आपूर्ति कार्य ही, यानी आपूर्ति कार्य पूरे ही नहीं हुए। मेला प्रशासन ने 8.72 करोड़ रुपए से 2 घाटों का निर्माण कराया, जो कुंभ मेले के काम से संबंधित थे ही नहीं। 111 निर्माण कार्यों में से 81 में तकनीकी स्वीकृति नहीं ली गई। सड़क चौड़ीकरण करने का काम 57 करोड़ 41 लाख रुपए और उनकी मरम्मत में 46 करोड़ 68 लाख रुपए बिना काम का परीक्षण किए ही दे दिए गए, और 9 करोड़ 1 लाख की सामग्री बिना जरूरत के खरीदी गई। मोबिलाइजेशन और मशीनरी के एडवांस भुगतान के अलावा 23 ठेकेदारों को 4 करोड़ 65 लाख रुपए सुरक्षित एडवांस देकर अनुचित लाभ पहुंचाया गया। ट्रैक्टर की लॉग बुक की जांच में पाया गया कि एक ट्रैक्टर एक ही समय में 2 स्थानों पर कार्य कर रहा था। 30 मजदूर एक ही समय में 2 स्थानों पर कार्य में दिखाए गए। ट्रैक्टरों की आपूर्ति के अनुबंध में सभी टैक्स शामिल थे। इसके बावजूद 2 ठेकेदारों को सेवा कर का अलग से भुगतान किया गया। शौचालयों की कमी होने की वजह से एक दिन में औसतन 900 लोगों ने एक शौचालय का इस्तेमाल किया। कई स्थानों पर देखा गया कि पुरुष और महिला शौचालयों के बीच विभाजन दीवार भी नहीं थी। 50% कल्पवासियों को बीपीएल कार्ड उपलब्ध कराए गए। उनको भी राशन कार्ड तब मिले जब मेला की 4 पावन तिथियां बीत चुकी थी। उन्हें कम दरों पर खाद्य सामग्री उपलब्ध नहीं हो सकी। पेयजल के लिए लगाए गए नलों में हर हफ्ते पानी के नमूने ले जाने थे। 201 में से महज 6 नलकूपों में सिर्फ 6 नलों में ही नमूने ले गए। स्नान घाटों पर कपड़े बदलने के लिए कोई चेंजिंग रूम नहीं था। चेंजिंग रूम नहीं बनाए गए थे। कई पेंटून पुलों पर जल पुलिस और एम्बुलेंस की व्यवस्था भी नहीं थी। केक ने मेले में सड़क चौड़ी करने और सड़क की मरम्मत से लेकर घाटों के निर्माण का भीड़ के नियंत्रण करने के लिए बैरिकेडिंग करने के काम में भी भ्रष्टाचार पाया। ये है 2013 की व्यवस्था। और जो लोग स्वयं दुर्व्यवस्था के लिए जाने जा रहे थे, उन लोगों ने कैसे इस पूरे आयोजन को बदनाम करने के लिए किया है, और मैं उसके बारे में भी आगे भी बताऊंगा। महोदय, ये हिमालयन इंस्टीट्यूट है प्रयागराज। उन्होंने कुंभ मेले की व्यवस्था के बारे में 3 महत्वपूर्ण बातों की ओर इस बार ध्यान आकर्षित किया है। जो बातें उन्होंने कही हैं कि आज प्रत्येक भारतीय के मानस पटल पर एक अनोखी जागृति आई है, और यह जागृति परम उदात्त और आध्यात्मिक सत्य के ओत से कुंभ में आ रहे हैं। किंतु हम लोग ऐसी विशालता और भव्यता हमें नहीं दिखाई दी। अनंत विविधताओं को अपने में समेटे हुए यह कुंभ मेला अपने आप में अद्वितीय है। इस मेले में सभी राष्ट्रों, धर्मों और विचारधाराओं वाले लोग भाग ले रहे हैं और लाभान्वित हो रहे हैं। यह मेला प्रगति के पथ पर अग्रसर महान भारत देश की आध्यात्मिक संपत्ति और उसकी सर्वांगीण संस्कृति सभ्यता की आराधना स्वरूप है। दूसरा, उन्होंने कहा, समूचे विश्व के आध्यात्मिक जिज्ञासु तथा सामान्य मानव समाज कुंभ मेले के प्रति जागरूक हो गया है। यह कुंभ मेला भारत के अगाध आध्यात्मिक परंपराओं के मूल स्रोत दर्शित करता है और प्रदर्शित करता है कि अनोखी विधि विश्व की अनेक विचारधाराओं को नेतृत्व कर रही है। तीसरा, उन्होंने कहा कि कुंभ मेले का ऐसा रूप देने में कितना प्रयत्न करना पड़ा होगा, कितने संसाधन जुटाने पड़े होंगे, कितनी बुद्धिबल, धन, जनशक्ति, विशेष रूप से उच्च स्तरीय नेतृत्व शक्ति का संचय और सदुपयोग किया गया होगा। इसका अनुमान कुंभ मेले में प्रवेश करके ही हो जाता है। कुंभ मेले की सफलता की इस चोटी पर पहुंचाने के लिए सरकार के शीर्षस्थ पद पर विराजमान समस्त अधिकारियों और प्रशंसा के धन्यवाद के पात्र हैं। इस महान पर्व को विश्व के मानचित्र पर सदा के लिए सर्वोच्च पद पर आसीन करने के लिए आप सबका हम सत नमन और आभार व्यक्त करते हैं। हिमालयन इंस्टीट्यूट ये पत्र जारी करता है अपने यहाँ से। महोदय, मैं केवल एक बात कहना चाहूंगा, मुझे आरोप प्रत्यारोप नहीं करना। जो लोग इस बात की चर्चा करते हैं कि हजारों लोग 29 के भगदड़ का शिकार हुए, उनको 1954 के कुंभ को भी देखना चाहिए। 1954 800 से अधिक श्रद्धालुओं की मौत हुई थी, और ये दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण घटना तब हुई थी जब तत्कालीन प्रधानमंत्री और तत्कालीन महामहिम राष्ट्रपति एक दिन पहले इस महाकुंभ में भागीदार बन गए। 1976, 1974 और 1986 के कुंभ के आयोजन में सैकड़ों लोगों की मौत हुई। तो आज हमें आईना दिखाने का काम कर रहे हैं। वे लोग आज इस महाआयोजन पर प्रश्न खड़ा कर रहे हैं। महोदय, वीआईपी कल्चर की बात वो करते हैं जो मुंह पे चांदी का चम्मच लेकर के ही पैदा हुए। जीवन भर जिन्होंने वीआईपी सुविधा ली, अगर थोड़ी सी वीआईपी सुविधा इधर उधर नहीं कि जमीन आसमान को एक कर लेते हैं। वे प्रयागराज महाकुंभ में वीआईपी कल्चर अगर कुंभ में होता, और मुझे बताइए 56 करोड़ लोग इन 38 दिनों में, इन 37-38 दिनों में क्या त्रिवेणी में आस्था की पावन डुबकी लगा पाते? समाजवादी पार्टी के माननीय सदस्य का यह कहना कि अमृत स्नान नहीं हुआ है या मुहूर्त के अनुसार नहीं हुआ है, है कि अब आप मूर्त भी देखने लग गए हैं। ये अच्छी बात है कि आप लोग मूर्त देखने लग गए हैं, लेकिन सच्चाई ये है कि जब एक दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण घटना घटी तो उस समय प्रयागराज के अंदर
Yogi Adityanath, the Chief Minister of the state of Uttar Pradesh, hitting back at the opposition, particularly Mamata Banerjee, over the comments that she made yesterday in regard to the death of 30 people, saying that it's not a Mahakumbh, but it's a Mrityu Kumbh. So it is now the turn of the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh to hit back at the Chief Minister of West Bengal, saying that about 56 crore people had taken a holy dip in the Sangam, and that, the Kumbh has, got so many people, seeing a surge as far as visitors are concerned, despite the negative propaganda, saying that, we are very well aware of the opposition and they plan to target us, and that is what Yogi Adityanath has come, while of course, also condoling the death as far as, the death of the 30 people who were killed in the stampede and others who died in the road accidents while traveling to Prayagraj. Of course, that negative propaganda doesn't bother us, is what he went on to say, because there's been a massive infrastructure upgrade. He's also spoken about, various other things. And to know more on this, we have Ranveer joining us on the phone line. Ranveer, he's spoken about whoever came to the Mahakumbh didn't leave hungry. He said that the negative propaganda really hasn't worked and the public's not agreeing. And while they might preach one thing, they're secretly coming in and taking a dip themselves.
Mahakumbh has become a political war between the opposition and the ruling party, and today Yogi Adityanath in UP Assembly, he targeted the opposition, especially Samajwadi Party, TMC and RJD. So Yogi Adityanath said that more than 56 crore devotees have taken holy dip at Sangam, and if opposition is blaming on the arrangements, this is clearly a defamation, a derogatory remark against those who are Sanatanis, who are Hindus and who are visiting Prayagraj for Mahakumbh. So Yogi Adityanath was attacking the opposition, and he also, we saw him in a very poetic manner that he attacked the opposition through a shairi, and he said, "Bada haseen hai inki zaba ka jadoo, laga ke aag baharon ki baat karte hain." So Yogi Adityanath attacked the opposition and said that if doing such kind of arrangements in the Mahakumbh, the Mahakumbh is organized in a very vast manner. So Yogi Adityanath said that organizing the Mahakumbh mega scale is a crime, that we are doing a crime, we will continue to do this crime in future also. So clearly this Mahakumbh has become a political issue between the opposition, and opposition is continuously attacking the UP government, saying that the list of deceased in the stampede has been hidden by UP government, and that's why opposition is attacking. But Yogi Adityanath today replied to the opposition in UP Assembly.
Ranveer, thank you so much for getting us all those details. Breaking news coming in at the moment. Now, the Delhi High Court has sought the response of the Union Government and the Indian Railways on the PIL seeking safety measures to prevent stampede-like situations like the one that took place at the New Delhi railway station on the 15th of February. The Delhi High Court has sought a response from the railway authorities in that public interest litigation. To know more on what really happened inside court, we have Nupur joining us. Nupur, the High Court coming down heavily, saying why sell excessive tickets, listing down steps in order to limit the number of passengers. Of course, for this, highlight for us, how many tickets, 2,600 tickets perhaps, were sold in a matter of 2 hours at the platform itself?
Well, yes, this particular PIL has been filed in the Delhi High Court, raising the issue that the already existing provisions of the Railways Act is not being implemented properly, and thus this whole stampede situation was a result of non-implementation of existing laws. So in this issue, the Delhi High Court has sought Railways response, and in fact has sought Centre's response as well as to what they plan to do to implement the existing laws to strengthen the mechanism to ensure that such incidents are not such incidents don't occur in future. The Delhi High Court, while today has heard the centre's brief responses to the petition. In fact, Solicitor General Tushar Mehta, today appearing for the railways, urged the court to dispose of this petition as a representation, and they said that the suggestions in the PIL can be taken up by the Railways Board, and urged the High Court to dispose of this petition as a representation to the Railways Department. However, the High Court refused to dispose of this petition at this stage and has asked the Railways to give a detailed response on as to what they are intending to do to ensure that there's proper implementation of existing laws, to ensure there's a limit on passengers on the platform and inside the railway coaches.
Right, so of course the High Court there has asked the Railways to examine the fixing of the maximum passengers that can be there at the platform and also the sale of tickets at the platform itself.
Well, today the High Court has actually has raised this particular question about these two particular sections in the Railways Act. That is Section 57 and Section 147, which actually, you know, these particular section mandates that there should be a limit in the on the number of passengers that are allowed in coaches, and there should be a list that should be displayed, that the number of passengers that are expected on those coaches. And in fact, the Section 147 penalizes. It provides for a jail up to 6 months or fine if a person enters railway station without any authority or without any ticket or illegally. Like we have seen over the past few days, we have seen the rush at several railway stations across India. So the Delhi High Court today, while taking note of this submission that there is already a law in existence, the Delhi High Court today has observed a simple implementation could have prevented such a situation that has occurred in the Delhi railway station or in the New Delhi stampede that occurred recently. So it is a big development, and has now the centre and railways has been asked to submit their brief response in this matter.
Right, thank you so much, Nupur, for joining us with those details. And now let's just get to more breaking news coming in. So this is in regard to that mega event that is being planned as far as the swearing-in ceremony of the next Chief Minister of Delhi is concerned. We don't know who's going to be the next Chief Minister, but we do know who all are going to be present, and more importantly, who are not going to be able to make it as far as that mega event is concerned. Because of course the BJP there, saying that all the Chief Ministers and the Deputy Chief Ministers are invited when it comes to that mega event. They're going to be industrialists and film stars as well. They're going to be performances. It's going to be a huge event. To know exactly who all are going to be missing, there are going to be 4 BJP Chief Ministers who will not be attending the oath-taking ceremony of the next Chief